Speeds have not been outrageously high. He has not been making crazy maneuvers anywhere here and there. In fact, sometimes the speeds have been low compared to other pursuits, even below the posted speed limit, as you see. But he is going faster than some of these other vehicles right now. The good news, not much traffic ahead of him. That's good news in terms of the safety of all involved. But it also can hinder any sorts of effort to try to slow this thing down. And with this sort of mileage capability of the Volkswagen Jetta up to 40 miles per gallon highway, that's the newer one, so this one may be somewhere in that neighborhood. If it had a full tank when this whole thing began, this could really go a long way. We don't know if there's another person in the vehicle. We know of only the driver. We don't know much more beyond that this was a hit and run. Started on the 5 freeway at the 2. This person was involved in a traffic accident with another car and a semi-truck and may have tried to do a U-turn on the freeway. That certainly caught the attention of a lot of people. And when you do things like that, you will encourage people to take down information and convey it to the Highway Patrol, which is exactly what somebody did. And as a result, the CHP a few miles down the road was able to get in touch with this individual and find out that this is the vehicle that they're after, and the pursuit began. All right, we're getting some information about what happened at the scene of the accident, information coming to us from the Highway Patrol. The person who reported it may have tried to take the keys away from the driver of the suspect vehicle, which indicates that that suspect did stop at some point after the accident, and that the suspect, it says here, may have bitten the reporting party, took the keys back, got in the car, took off. So now what you have is a traffic accident, an act of violence, what would be, I guess, an assault or a battery against someone. That would be the biting. And then after that, of course, is the hit and run. They left the scene. We're not sure who this driver is, but that's some pretty erratic behavior. And this will be an indicator, I guess, for police on how to deal with this person once they get a hold of them. Presuming they do, which they will, of course, at some point. The car is going to run out of gas. The driver's going to give up. Something's going to happen here. The CHP, of course, will not give up. They've got, for all intents and purposes, an unlimited number of vehicles that they can bring to bear on this, as well as a helicopter overhead. The speeds are not terribly high. One wonders if at 41, 42 miles an hour, you're getting into the territory where a pit maneuver would be viable and usable. And one wonders whether that might be something they're considering at this point. The driver's now only going 44, 43 miles an hour based on what we're seeing from our SkyMap 7 technology in Air 7 HD. And that is the kind of thing where they could use that pit maneuver, something we have seen over and over in Southern California pursuits, where a pursuing vehicle will come up behind the suspect vehicle, tap it on the rear bumper, and send it spinning, and sending it usually out of control, and as best could be described as a controlled sort of an accident. And what will happen in some instances, based on what our car expert Dave Coons has told us, is there will be some of these vehicles now have a fuel shutoff. If the motion sensors or the technology within the vehicle senses that it has lost control, it will actually shut off the fuel to the engine in an effort to try to keep the possibility of a fire from happening, so that technology ends up stopping the vehicle, spinning it out, and it will end up stopping. And let's see now, is that pit maneuver going to be employed? We're going 41 miles an hour, northbound 5 freeway at Castaic. There it goes. Pit maneuver has just been employed. And it is up the embankment, and now going back down onto the freeway. Now we got a problem where he or she facing southbound on the northbound 5. Officers now hemming that vehicle in. This is the northbound 5 freeway right near Parker Road, and you see the vehicle now facing southbound on the northbound 5. You got the officers now they're gonna surround it as best they can. They have to maintain a certain distance. They have to maintain it for officer safety. They don't know whether this person is armed, so they're going to do what they need to do at this point, although the body language that this officer is employing now going from one vehicle to the other indicates to them they don't think this person might be armed. I mean, he would certainly be in a crouch. I don't see, I see possible guns at the ready and of one of those officers there. It's hard for me to see. Yeah, he's got his gun drawn as he approaches the vehicle now. They're trying to get this person out. They're walking up to it. It appears they don't have a lot of fear of this individual. If you're looking at a wanted felon, a murder suspect, they'd be doing a whole lot of different things. They're trying to bang through the windows right now. They are standing up next to the vehicle. They've got the person in the vehicle refusing at this point to come out. Again, this is the northbound 5 freeway at Castaic where this pursuit has terminated. They're going to try to pull this person out of the vehicle, but they're not acting as though this is a particularly dangerous felon. That's the kind of interpretation I'm getting from what they are doing. When they have somebody that they think is really dangerous, they will do a whole lot, they will handle it a whole lot differently than what they're doing right now. Northbound on the 5 freeway. Now they've opened up the passenger side door. Now they got the driver's side door open. They're going to yank this individual out of the car. The pursuit is, for all intents and purposes, over. They just have to put the cuffs on and get this person into custody and get them out of the vehicle. Vehicle stopped. Here's a police officer who has just shown up. Don't know which agency it is. You've got CHP officers on either side flanking the vehicle. They're going to try to pull that person out and bring this whole episode to a close. And they've just got the one driver still in the vehicle. Can't tell if it's a man or a woman. Can't tell who it is, what's going on up there. But they've got gloves on. It's interesting. They do have rubber gloves on, and they're going to try to effect an arrest here. I'm not sure what the purpose of the gloves is, what the reason is that they put the gloves on, but there's some reason that they're deciding to employ the tactics that they're using here, which is to be, for lack of a better term, gentle in terms of how they are getting this suspect out of the vehicle. Okay, it's at Parker Road, northbound 5 at Parker Road. If you are expecting somebody who's coming home via that route, they're going to be late because of this traffic tie-up that's now been ongoing for the better part of 6 or 7, 8 minutes now in the wake of this pursuit that has come to an end. They still don't have the suspect in custody. They still have the car sitting there in the middle of the freeway. They still have all the lanes blocked. Circumstances. Are we zoomed in as tight as we can? Is there a way we can convey to Air 7 that we can maybe zoom in a little more further using that extreme vision that we have on Air 7 and see what we can see here? There's an individual still sitting in the front seat and not getting out. The officers there, you see, they've got those blue surgical gloves on, protective gloves, that they are using to deal with this. And the person's drinking water? Did they just give the person something to drink here? This is an odd situation here. Maybe they think this is a victim. I don't know what's going on, but it is certainly a strange way to deal with something like this. This has been a pursuit, and the person clearly was fleeing police, clearly a hit and run, clearly, according to their reports, an assault took place in which this person is believed to have bitten someone, and this is the result now. This person ran from the pursuing CHP officers and continued northbound on the 5 freeway. Had to get some water there, excuse me, but still, apparently they've decided, I don't know what's going on here. We're just going to have to watch this unfold. And, oh, all right, some kind of medical situation, it would appear, is involved here. That would explain it. That would explain the gloves. That would explain why the fire department has shown up. They would be there for a medical response. There would be paramedics aboard those vehicles, those fire department vehicles. My guess is this is LA County Fire that has shown up, and they have been called out. Obviously, there's somebody's injured, and somebody is requiring medical attention. And that, I guess, would explain why they have not elected to pull this person out thus far. There you see the I assume is an LA County Fire Department paramedics that are showing up to deal with and treat the suspect, who we can still assume is a suspect based on their behavior, based on the fact that they led these officers on a pursuit for the better part of 45 minutes and ended up on here on the 5 freeway, still facing southbound on the northbound 5 freeway at Parker Road. Doing whatever it is required to get the person out of the vehicle. There it appears to be a female. I'm not sure, but well, we'll find out. We're going to see. They're patting the person down and putting them on a stretcher at the same time. You saw the CHP officer patting the individual down, making sure there are no weapons, and they're being placed on a stretcher. Not sure why they're on a stretcher, because it didn't appear that the accident was that we all witnessed was a bad one. That was a pit maneuver that sent the vehicle up an embankment and then back down, but the initial accident may have been perhaps more violent, or there could be something else at play here. We just don't know. But apparently this person is being treated as a patient at this point. A suspect, yes, but also a patient in need of medical attention. And so that is the reason for the response by LA County Fire paramedics, who are working in conjunction with the California Highway Patrol and a police agency, which we do not yet know who that might be. The 5 and the 2, that could be Glendale, where this initial accident took place. It could be Glendale. I think it might be perhaps well, that's my guess, is it's in the Glendale area, so it could be a Glendale officer. Couldn't tell from the insignia. We're too high up, but there was one police officer there that was involved in this, that showed up and is involved in dealing with taking the suspect into custody. We don't know who will end up taking them into custody, but there you see now the suspect on a stretcher being taken away. And I think it's a female. You're watching it now. We're all watching it live here. So this is using our extreme vision technology. We have seen the end of a pursuit. Apparently one person injured. We don't know the disposition of the people at the other end of this, where the pursuit began. Again, that was at the 5 and the 2, where that vehicle, that silver Volkswagen Jetta, was involved in a traffic collision with another car and a big rig. And someone in that area may have been actually assaulted by this suspect. That's according to reports we're getting from law enforcement. So now the task is to conduct whatever investigation they need to conduct and then get this car off the road so they can open up the freeway. And that should be happening within a matter of minutes once they have the suspect in custody and will be receiving some medical attention. Again, let's show that pit maneuver again. This is on the right there. That's a video from earlier. The northbound 5 freeway right about Parker Road. And you saw the perfectly executed pit maneuver that resulted in the car spinning out and then rolling down the embankment. All right, so now suspect in custody. Huge traffic tie-up now that stretches for miles from Parker Road. The northbound 5 freeway closed right now at that off-ramp. If it opens up, we will try to get that information to you, but it's going to be a bad situation there for quite some time.